and a Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, my lovely audience. Welcome to the East-West show that is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history and handforged by 10 generations of the #1 craftsman on global earth. Together, the name of Wolfers stands for a testimony to the spectacular and the share of the royal glory. To the show. Today with me is my dear friend, Mr. Chris Shahinian, former candidate for California Senate and a political commentator. And he is a Middle East expert. By saying that, of course, we already know that we are going to talk about the Middle East situation. We know that ever since after the Christmas, the Middle East situation has been stirred up, and the tension is increasing. Until right now, we're almost talking about wars. So, to start with, sir, I would like to give a little sum up of what had happened ever after Christmas.
Well, number one, thank you for having me today. Happy New Year for our audience. This is our
Happy New Year. And the New Year is special.
Yeah, I think the start of the New Year was not very exciting for us, and of course, since this assassination of General Soleimani, things start getting change, not just for Middle East region, it's entire world. Mm-hmm. And we have seen this as a escalation, and around the world, everybody's talking about a war, all-out war, and that's very dangerous situation for entire world.
If we look back, though, it looks like that it is the escalation is kind of exactly step by step, right? First, there was an attack to U.S. military compound that kills a contractor, and from there on, it was a revenge and a revenge and a revenge after revenge to what it is right now.
Let me go back a little bit. Thanks for bringing that. Let me go back a little bit. When Trump was a candidate, Trump back then, he was campaigning that he was going to stop this unending war, endless war. Mm-hmm. He's going to bring our troops back.
Yes, we recall that.
Yeah, he's claiming that, we have no business in Middle East. Our troops have to come back. We have no business in so and so. And at the same time, when he was elected, and he started looking at, Iran nuclear deal and he was able to move that.
A little insertion. Do you recall that during his visit, he made a speech attended by some 50 leaders of different areas and regions and whatsoever, right? That was a good start.
That was a good start. Mm-hmm. And then after he was elected, things changed. He started looking for regime change in Iran, literal regime change in Iran, by him wiping out nuclear deal. From that day, the escalation started actually, not just like recent escalation. Mm. From that day, he started with regime change. Bolton said, on a TV, on a media, we're looking for regime change. That regime change was escalation itself. And it was so obvious that Donald Trump himself said, move Bolton. I don't want it because this guy is going to start World War III because of that. But that escalation started building up step by step until the New Year day. Right after New Year, Jack, things completely start changing. Donald Trump, our president, made a decision to go after highly important target, General Soleimani. And let me tell you who General Soleimani is. General Soleimani is not just like a general. He is the right hand of Ali Khomeini, Ayatollah Ali Khomeini. Ayatollah Khomeini is the highest authority in Iran for 80 million. He's the prophet for them, Prophet Hussein, basically. His ancestor. So he was the right hand of that Khomeini.
Number two guy.
Number two guy, not just was a general. And on top of that, he was the one fighting against Israel and American interests all around Middle East. Started from Iraq, from Lebanon, from Syria, Gaza, Yemen. He was everywhere. He was building army.
There was one time he fought with ISIS.
I'm going to go back there. I'm going to give you like summary.
Yeah.
And he was everywhere fighting against American hegemony and against Israel. At the same time, in late 80s, American asked Soleimani to help them to fight against, during George Bush era, against Afghanistan. He was working with American army, US Army, to fight against Taliban. But George Bush in 2002 came and said, Iran is axis of evil. Soleimani said, you know what, screw you. I'm not going to help you in Afghanistan. Guess what happened? We're still fighting in Afghanistan. When ISIS came, took Mosul and Iraq and Syria in a matter of weeks, they were 20 miles away from Baghdad to fall Baghdad. That was a historic thing. Who came to help? Soleimani came with his army. He stopped Baghdad to fail. If Baghdad was failed, Damascus will fail. We will be in totally different situation now. Today, people probably will slaughtering everywhere in the street of the Middle East. They could have come all the way to Lebanon, all the way, to other area. He was the one fighting. He is, and he and Hassan Nasrallah, Hezbollah leader, they both came together. They fight and destroy ISIS and Taliban. How powerful is this? This guy was a Che Guevara of Muslim revolutionary. He was Che Guevara for them. Wherever he go, people kiss his hand. They bow to him. And that's kind of figure he was.
Why would America pick up him?
We're going to go there. And he was so popular, he was able to build an army next to Israel, North Israel. He was able to build army, South Israel, Gaza, Hamas. And he was able to build an army in Yemen. So surround Israel from all sides. That guy became, the most dangerous, person in the earth for Israel interest. You got it? That's why Netanyahu, he was every week. We need to bomb Iran. We need to, regime change. We need to, destroy Iran. Why? Because they were gaining upper hand. They were getting closer and closer to choke Israel.
In other words, the U.S. did it on behalf of Israel?
That's what, yesterday, Elizabeth Warren, he said, we have a big question to ask. Why now?
Yeah, why now?
Show us now. What happened that, you are now acting this war? Why? What happened? We have a president is impeached, right? Netanyahu, what's happened to him? He has to go to jail.
He has a corruption case.
Two presidents, two of them, they're going to go to jail. And both of them, the only state government that support our president action was Netanyahu. Britain said, this is act of war. France says, this is, and Germany, everybody, France, China, the whole world is saying, This is not right. This is not good. This is escalation. This is war. The only one,
Israel.
Israel said, oh yeah, I support Donald Trump. And looking at this picture, in our history, United States history, when president goes to under stress, they start a war. Reagan did, after embassy bomb of Lebanon, 240 Marine died. Reagan was under so stress, he invaded Grenada, So we just started a war. So we can show that, America is powerful, yes. And Clinton did under impeachment, bombed Kosovo. But this time, this is not bombing Kosovo. This
All
is
right,
not,
all right.
This
Let's take a short moment out. We come back to continue. I'm so confused that why we pick him up on behalf of or in favor of only favor of Israel. So that's a question, big question. So stay with us, please. We'll be right back.
Everything is expected and straight. It's like seeing John Wayne.
My name is Paul James. I host English News.
And a Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, my lovely audience. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow on the East West Show, which is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history and hand forged by 10 generations of the wonderful craftsmen on earth. Together, the name of Wolfers stands for a testimony to the spectacular and a share of the royal glory. Back to the show, back to my friend, Mr. Chris Shahinian, former candidate for California Senate, and right now a political commentator who is an expert of the Middle East issues. Back to the point, we are focusing on one question: why now? Right? Why now? So the question is, why now?
Well, as we were saying, we have impeachment going on in the United States. President is under tremendous pressure. And Israel, this is one side of the story. And Israel is under pressure. And this war drum was going on for 3 years. It's not new. But why now? I think this is the time to shift focus from impeachment to this war.
Public attention.
Public attention. And it's worked all the time. But this time, it's totally different. Normally, during war situation, American comes together. War comes together. Congress, Senate, Republican, Democrat, Independent. We come together to support, our troops, to support our president, to support, our national interests. This time, the effect was totally different, totally opposite. No one wants war. No one wants to send his children back to Iraq, Iran, to come,
for the past few
to
days.
come with, disabled, to come, deformed. No one wants that. And yesterday, there was 2,500 Marine from North Carolina. They went to Middle East. People were crying. Family were crying. They know some of them are not going to come back.
Yeah, there's going to be a bloody war there.
They know some of them they're not going to see him for forever. And families, they're going to be destroyed. And we didn't learn our lesson from Iraq war. We had 5,000 casualties. We had trillions of dollars debt. What we gained? Couple of companies, they make billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Lockheed,
You're right.
a big corporation. Their stock became, triple, four times.
War contractors.
War contractor, military industrial, complex. They become rich and richer, unlimited money, and the poor people suffered. And it's heartbreaking to see young children, they lost their father for a war that only enriched a couple of companies. We are all war when to defend our dignity, to defend our right, to defend our people, our land. But no one likes to go to war for oil or for a couple of resources.
After the question of why now is asked, so next question is why him?
As I told you,
Under Soleimani.
Like Soleimani, he is the one, is the key figure fighting against any foreign interest in the Middle East. 1980s, there was Saddam Hussein. There was Gaddafi. Those people are, fanatics, protecting their interests. Those people are gone. Saddam Hussein has been hanged. Gaddafi has been killed. Assad regime survived in Syria because of Iran, because of Soleimani. Soleimani came to help when Aleppo was under attack. When almost Aleppo was gone, Aleppo was like second major city in Syria. Soleimani came to help before Russia. Before Russia started. Soleimani, he's the one stopped the ISIS coming to Baghdad. Stopped the ISIS coming to. Who created ISIS? Donald Trump, our president himself said, Hillary Clinton and Obama created ISIS. For what? We created ISIS to divide that nation, that area, to weaken that neighborhood, to divide Syria, to divide Iraq, to divide Iran. Why? Because on that land, the small land called Middle East, 3.4% of the entire Earth's surface, there's a 50% of the natural oil that we have. There's a treasure there. There's a gold there, gold mine there. And in 200 years of British Empire history, from India, they control India for hundreds of years. Between 1700 to 1900, British Empire was able to get $45 billion money in 200 years. And when British, they find oil in 1907, the whole game changed now. They say, you know what? Why we are in India? We have, tons of trillions of dollar money here, and we should be here. That's when they start, dividing the Middle East. Why are we in the Middle East at the first place? Because of that oil, because of that rich resources that we have. That's why we are here. That's why we went to Iraq. We didn't go to Iraq because Saddam Hussein has mass weapon of destruction.
That's a total.
No, and we all know that.
That's a total lie.
Total lie.
Nothing was found.
Nothing was found.
Nothing was discovered.
And we were there. You know why? We went there.
And Saddam Hussein was hanged.
We went there because oil, my friend.
Because of...
Because of oil. We are thirsty of oil. We want oil. And if we're going to war to Iran, you know what? A month ago, President of Iran said, we found another, land that...
You say oil, right?
Oil.
If you do a price comparison, is the gasoline price cheaper or more expensive now?
It's going to go up.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to go up.
The more you fight, the higher the price.
They're going to hire, but that's for short term. This is the big vision is, if we go to Iran, they find recently 55 billion barrel of oil, another new gas and oil. Basically, that could feed Iran another 100 years. Feed Iran. To make Iran one of the strongest nations, stronger than Russia, stronger than anybody. We don't want that. We don't want Iran to become a power that controls the region. What we do? We go to war.
But the question is that we are fighting two wars already. The Iraq war, which has never been ended. The Afghanistan war, which has never been ended. right? And our presence is still there. Our military presence is still there. So now, do we have the efforts or the money or the extra troops whatsoever to fight a third war?
Well, we already have 90,000 troops there in that area neighborhood. We have 90,000 Marines in that neighborhood between Emirat, between Kuwait, between
And we're
Saudi
sending
Arabia.
more.
We're sending more because to invade, that's the red flag. They invade Iran, 90,000 is not enough. We need about 150,000, more 200,000. So basically, that sign of sending 2,500 additional, that sign that, we're going to war, and next you're going to hear, it's going to be draft. People are scared now. Young people are scared that, it's going to be like 1970s draft. Our young people, they're going to draft, they're going to go to war, And that's a fear that we have now.
If you really want to launch a war, though, has a war needs to be declared, and the decision of declaring war has to be made by Congress, right? Not a president himself.
Yes, Constitution requires that the president, but and we know from our history that not the case all the time. And this is what I'm imagining. Iran will take revenge, and we're going to be now in pain now, so much pain that we're going to do the same thing. Let's destroy Iran. Our public opinion is going to change drastically in 1 month. When we see our coffins, our young people coming back, and what we're going to do? We're going to be the same. We're going to be angry also. We're going to be also, let's destroy Iran. That's what we did. That's what we've always done. That's what Iran is in a situation now. Let's kill Americans now. We can cool down.
We are, if I could quote a Chinese proverb, we're a tiger back riding. We're on the back of a tiger. So we can't get down, can we?
I think for me and the whole world see this, Donald Trump Game of Thrones, basically. To keep his throne another 4 years, everybody sees that. This is, I'm not exaggerating, and this is Game of Thrones actually happening. And I believe this time it's not going to work for American interests. This is what I see.
That's
now.
why you see the protests here and there everywhere.
And this, what I see, this is not our best interest. Everybody sees that. And we are afraid that, if we go all out war, our young people, they're going to be drafted again. Yes, that possibility. There's a fear now among young people. Why we have to go to war? Why, there's a lot of questions now, a lot of uncertainty now. And why we have to be in the first place there? Because of the oil.
The morale has to be heard.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. All right. Let's take a short moment out. Today with me is my dear friend, Mr. Shahinian, a former candidate for California Senate, and a political commentator, an expert on Middle East. So back to the point of why do we need a war? Let's take a break. Right after the break, we will continue from there. Stay with us. This news and
and the Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on the East West, which is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history and hand-forged by 10 generations of master craftsmen. Together, the name of Wolfers stands for a testimony to the spectacular and a share of the royal glory. Back to the point. Today with me is my dear friend, Mr. Chris Shahinian, former candidate for California Senate, a political commentator, and also an expert of Middle East, talking about the fact that we are facing another war. Is it preventable? Or is there a way that we can prevent it?
I think so. I think so. Such as if I was the President Trump now, if we want to de-escalate, if that's the policy of the United States, I think Secretary of State, instead of making this kind of rhetoric, statement, that we have intelligent information, and in a backdoor, they should send envoy right now to Iran, say, you know what, listen, this was, mistake. We want to work with you on this nuclear issue, because yesterday they announced that they're not going to cooperate with nuclear deal anymore. They're going to enrich uranium.
Will you really accept?
Yeah, they're going to enrich uranium. They said, we don't care about Europe. We don't care about sanction. We're going to have our atomic bomb. That's it. We're out of the game now. And that's basically...
The news says this morning the Iranian officials said in the central television programs of Iran, saying that from now on, we are no longer restricted by any rules of the nuclear deals.
And no one wants that. Basically, we gave them the green light now. We gave them.
That's horrible.
That's horrible.
That's horrible.
That's horrible, and it's what's going to happen. So coming to your question, how would he escalate? You go backdoor channel. We don't want to embarrass our president. Yes, we don't want to embarrass him. It's the president of the United States. We go back channel. Say, you know what? Okay, nuclear deal. We're going to lift all the sanctions. We'll lift all the sanction. Okay, because we're not gaining anything from the sanction. We're not gaining anything. We lift all the sanction, cool down, and during 6 months, we can renegotiate this nuclear deal. We can make sure better than what you have.
The sanction is no longer working. Suppose even if the sanction still functions, when China, Russia, Iran got together,
Yes.
So you're talking about another group
For
of
sure.
interest.
Yes. And
You mentioned the oil, right? And nobody doesn't want the oil. China wants it, Russia wants it.
Oh, yeah.
So we seem to be pushing Iran to the Russian arms.
Yes, absolutely right. And that's why, war with Iran benefit who? Russia and China. Because America, we're gonna lose another $5 trillion, and America is gonna get weak. Guess what? 10 years from now, 20 years from now, Persia, you're gonna go to Russia and China, please, help me so I can make American troops out. We're gonna go to square one. So Russia and China are waiting now. They're happy. They were happy that, America fought war in Iraq, and, we lost trillions of dollars. They're happy because they are building their military now. They are getting stronger. China is getting stronger. In 25 years, China is going to be superpower, regardless we say yes or no. Militarily, in everywhere, it's going to be.
Why can't we be friends with China? Why can't we
be friends with Russia also?
Well, yeah, be friends with Russia.
Well, because of everybody wants. There's a big pie. the earth is a pie.
Yes, there is the pie. All right.
Yeah.
Why can't we sit down and talk about the
Well,
pie?
if stronger get biggest piece, Jack, that's the whole big fish eat small fish. And United States for last 100 years, we are the big fish. We want the whole pie. We don't want to give any piece for Russia or China or Europe. That's what we are. That's
Unless we
empire.
want to give up the whole piece.
Unless we're going to give up. So that's the whole.
Isn't it fair to everybody let everybody get a share of it?
Unfortunately, that's not the way humanity works, Jack. That's not the way it is. Look at how a bank destroyed entire economy so we become richer. So that's not the way it is.
You don't want to blame Russia, blame China for wanting their oils. Nobody does it.
But again, if you look at the history, look at the Russia. Russia has eye on Persia for a long time. Why? Because that corridor, trade corridor, before the oil, Persian Empire was a land corridor for trade between India, China, all the way to Middle East. That's the Persian corridor. It was not, Europe. That's where the corridor. That's what Russia has interest to get Persia. And British Empire had the same interest because they want to connect, India to Middle East. They had that corridor before the oil. Now that the oil is there, everybody wants Persia. Everybody wants Iran. That's why we are so thirsty. When you hear Middle East, it's always with problem. Always
let's
with problem.
get to the point. The point is that the nuclear deal is not going to work, right? Because number one, the United States is backing off from it. So we're no longer part of it. And then Iran says that we are no longer going to be restricted by any of the rules, right? And in the meantime, well, even though we want the oil, wanting the oil is not nothing to be blamed. So why can't we work out a deal with everybody?
Because if you go and when British they find the oil 1907 in British in Iran, we create this company that BP, so British Petroleum, so we can share the oil, but we excluded Iranian government. When Shah Iran came to power, and he saw that what happened, this oil is us, how come we can benefit? How come we can build our nation? And they toppled Iran 1979, if you don't know history. So the oil is so precious that, we can't stand anymore. No one should say anything about oil. Now, what happened yesterday, Iraqi government, parliament came together. They say, American troop has to go out.
Yeah, they voted. What's even worse, makes the whole situation even worse, that the parliament of Iraq voted yesterday, to expel the U.S. troops.
Basically, by we assassinating Soleimani, we lost Iraq, period.
And we lost Iran.
We lost Iran.
We lost a nuclear deal.
Iran is going to have nuclear power, in 10 years. You will see that.
And we lost the oil.
We lost the oil. That's what we're having. Guess what? Who's going to be in the scene now? China and Russia, you said, they're going to come surround Iran. They're going to protect them.
It's quite natural.
They're going to protect them.
It's
what?
quite natural.
Okay.
When you say
Iran is going to ask, yes.
It is oil that people wanted, though, I would say
lost
nobody
it.
wouldn't want it. And let's say India. India, too. India will walk in soon. So
probably after 20 years after China. China is next in line now. China is going to be, he's going to carry the throne after the United States. That's going to happen. And China with Russia working together, one day that's going to be divided also, but at least for now, it's looked like China and Russia, they're getting along together.
Another question, before the attack, before the airstrike that killed Soleimani, was there a discussion, was there approval to be talking about?
Well,
by the Congress?
Soleimani issue came, if you look at the news, Soleimani was a couple of times in a picture in front page of the news, front page of New York Times, most dangerous man, second hand. So they were talking about Soleimani, and he was so effective that this guy was like, one day he's going to, get American troops out of Middle East. That's why we have to eliminate him. Because if there's one person in that region can, fight American interests, that was Soleimani. That's what has to go. And second man is going to be, second in line, is Hassan Nasrallah, Hezbollah leader. But they're going to get him one day, but I hope not. Then I guarantee you, it's going to be like
Another. In other
But
words,
if-
second on the list.
I think he's maybe number one on this, but they can't reach him. They can't reach him. They try so many times. They try so many times to Soleimani also. During the Bush era, Soleimani name came. Bush said no. During Obama era came, Soleimani. Obama said no. This is not who we are. We cannot do like terrorist. That's terrorist act. Bush did said no. We don't want to act terrorist. Even though Bush went all the way to destroy millions of people, he said no. That's one act. It's not who we are. Obama said no, but Trump said kill the man. Let's start World War III if we have to save.
Yeah, lots of people say, speaking of World War, though, lots of people say that we are probably on the verge of World War III. So let's take a moment out. When we come back for the last segment, for the final segment, though, we really want to find out if there is any danger of lighting the fire for World War III. So stay with us, my dear friend. We'll be right back.
Everything
We have to continue to work
It's
on
like
it now.
St. John Wayne.
My name is Paul James. I'm English news
and a Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome back to the East West Show, Jack Chow on the East West, which is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history and handforged by 10 generations of the number one craftsman on the global earth. Together, the name of Wolfers stands for a testimony to the spectacular and the share of the royal glory. To my friend Chris Shahinin, former candidate for California Senate, a political commentator, especially he's an expert of the Middle East issues, we really want to get the answer to the point that we worry so much. Are we talking about World War III? Or if not a World War III, a regional war in the Middle East is worse enough, is bad enough.
Well, that's what the worst scenario. But can we avoid that? We could have avoided World War I, after
We could have done.
After assassination of in Sarajevo, and King, I think King and not wasn't King, the Prince and his wife. We could have stopped that, but we didn't. How many million people, lost millions of people. World War II, we could have stopped that also, right? We could have stopped. But, we ignore Hitler. We ignore he became so powerful that we could not stop. World War III, we can stop it. But the world, they should act quickly. They cannot just give a statement, oh, this is a very dangerous situation. That's not enough. Everybody should work now. They should put their special interests now in aside. Let's look at, what's coming. Because if the World War III comes, everybody's going to lose. Russia's going to lose. China's going to lose. Europe is going to use.
No winner at all.
No winner. And it might drag this another 20 years.
Who
And
can
then
guarantee if the button is not pushed?
No one guaranteed, but that's what I said. Now, it's not time to give statement. Now it's time to act. They're calling, foreign minister of Iran to go to Europe. Don't call him to Europe. You go to Iran. Why you call him, come to France, we're going to talk. No, you go there to Iran. You walk with the Khamenei now. You talk to him. You say, you know what? We feel you. We feel, your pain. We feel, it's just, let's sort this out. Let's fix this before it gets too late.
And lift the sanctions.
Lift the sanction, stand against
Give
Trump,
them
America.
money.
Say America, say to America, you know what? We're not going to accept this.
Give
Come
them
together.
money for exchange of stopping the nuclear
Give them another
programs.
$50 trillion temporary loan, whatever you're going to get. Cool down the situation. That's the way, if we're smart, we can do. We didn't learn
Or
our
we can at
lesson.
least do something temporarily.
Whatever, we didn't learn our lesson from World War I. We didn't get lesson from World War II. Now we're on the verge of World War III, and we're doing what?
Who will be the one? Who will be the one to bend?
I think United Nations, they should come up to tomorrow, yesterday, they should make a resolution, you know what, war is not acceptable. They should put together a team, from Britain, Russia, Asia, China, Japan, and Germany. They all go to Iran today, tomorrow. They agreed, they meet with Ali Khamenei. They tell him, you know what, this is wrong. We don't want war. You want revenge. Okay, you know what, we understand that, but we are here to cool down the situation.
Who will be the congregant? Donald Trump?
I think Donald Trump should be out of the picture. He's our president. We should leave because his name is now not somebody can.
He is on the hit list.
Yes, but that's not official, by the way. That's not official. That's like it's news media. Iranian, they didn't say.
The news says somebody gave an $80 million or whatsoever.
That's not fake news. I call this fake news.
Okay.
But Iranian, they said, you know what, we're going to get revenge, harsh revenge. They said that. They know that. So, and they identify a couple of
And
targets.
on the other hand, Donald Trump tweeted saying that if Iran dares to attack us, we will revenge in the worst way.
This is
and the fast
embarrassing
way.
for us. This is like act of gangster way of thinking. We cannot do this. We cannot do this. We cannot say, you know what, if you bomb me, I'm going to go destroy your home. That's terrorist act. That's not the way we are. That's not Americans we are.
And on the other hand, the Iranians did have threatened us, saying that they will attack our 35 military or whatsoever targets. Whereas we say we will. Donald Trump says we will attack his 52.
The 52 is like Donald Trump said, cultural center, all this. That's not. I think. Let's go back to the de-escalation situation. Starting a war. It's a big thing. No one wants. But if we drag to the war, it's going to be messy. No one knows how we stop that. We can stop it now. But when the war started, when casualty numbers go up, no one can stop it. I can tell you.
Yeah. Too late.
We couldn't stop it. It's going to be too late.
When it started,
when the coffins start coming here and from their side, and I was watching live yesterday, the funeral service. I'm not a fan of Iran. I'm not a fan of the Soleimani, but the president of Ali Khamenei and the president, they were crying.
The whole crowd was crying.
The whole crowd was crying. They chanting, revenge, revenge, revenge. I think revenge is going to come, but we can stop the World War III. Revenge is going to. We can't stop the revenge. There's no way we can stop the revenge. Revenge is going to be.
What if they did launch revenge?
Revenge is going to be happen. We cannot stop the revenge. Otherwise, Iran, they're going to be so embarrassed.
No.
They can't.
So we cannot stop them from revenging.
Yes.
Once they did launch revenge, though, what do we want to do?
I think this is what again, I'm talking diplomacy. This is time of diplomacy. This is the time. You can say, you know what? We're going to give you a target. We have a ship in here. Go. You can hit the ship. Damage the ship. That don't kill any sailors. We can give him target. Go hit here. We have ammunition facility here.
I think they will accept that.
They won't. But at least we have to say that we have to do something. Otherwise, we are sending our youngster, draft is going to come, millions of people that are going to die. Which one is better? Which one is better? To play diplomacy? To play diplomacy or to play hardball, you know what? Go whatever's yourself.
To this point, though, there's not even diplomacy to talk about.
I know that
talk
culture.
about war.
No, I know
and
that
it's
culture.
talking about revenge after revenge, re-revenge.
I born in the Middle East. I born in the Middle East. Those people, they go hype but they cool down quickly. I know them. I live there. They go so hype. It's take. Doesn't
they
take.
Cool down.
They cool down very quickly.
They cool down fast.
But they get revenge for their family members if they sleep with somebody else. Their family member, if they go with, they lose their virginity young, they kill their own family to revenge, for their dignity, for their pride. That's how much pride they have. So this for them, we went to their heart. We, peel apart for their heart. They're going to get revenge. We cannot stop that, but we can stop the war, big war. We can do that, but diplomacy has to be in action today. We fail. Our foreign policy failed. We fail in Iraq. We fail in Yemen. We fail in Afghanistan. We fail everywhere. What are we going to do? Why we want another war?
Give them a retired vessel, a retired warship. Let them bomb it.
I'm saying that behind the scene, I think now everybody's saying, go. We give you target. So let the Iranian people feel that they did something. Let them see things blow out in the air. Let them feel that yes, we get revenge. And a week later, everything is good. Once they feel that, they get
let them
revenge.
Feel expanded.
Let them feel that expand. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, this is the option that we have. If we smart. If the war is smart, that's what we have to do. Give them, bomb here, bomb there. Let's get our guys out, bomb there, man. So, and we can say in the news, 500 Americans died.
That's one side of the coin, right?
Yeah.
On the other side, though, given the characteristics of Donald Trump, will he do that?
I think we have to restrain Donald Trump now. He is the president. Need to be restrained. He's the man should be controlled on this situation. I am American, I love my country, but I don't want our children to go to war, die for this stupid reason.
It was only a few days ago in the show, in the interview, I started to mention that I started to like Donald Trump already. But all of a sudden, there comes a bomb like this.
Jack.
I'm really doubted a man of consideration.
From day one, he's uncontrollable man. We like sometimes, he says things, funny, but this is not presidential. None of what he did is presidential. None of what he's doing is presidential. This is embarrassing for our country.
But he keeps on tweeting.
He keeps on tweeting for everything,
He keeps on tweeting, yeah.
And this is embarrassing for us. I think the Congress should act now. Republican, they have to act now. We have to pitch impeachment aside. We can say even Donald Trump, Donald Trump, listen, we're going to put this impeachment aside now. Let's avoid, because this goes to parallel together.
Okay.
If we can...
If not Donald Trump, who will be in his place?
I think at this point we have to play politics. We have to. I think Democrats, they have to come to say, Donald Trump, we're going to avoid this impeachment. Let's avoid this war. This is the only solution we have. We avoid, impeachment.
In other words, give him a pacifier.
I think
to
so.
Suck?
Yeah.
Give everybody a pacifier to suck. That's it.
Behind the scene, yes.
All right. Okay, my dear friends,
unfortunately, I'm telling this stuff.
We're way over time, but we're really bothered with the situation. We're worried. We're bothered, and we came to the conclusion of giving everybody a pacifier to suck. Will they suck? Who will provide the pacifier? And who will be the pacifier? Those are the questions, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, my dear friends, we'll see you next time. This is only the beginning of discussion of the issue. I believe in the few days ahead, things are going to be developing, and let's talk again about it. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you.
Thank you, Jack.